Shake here with another video, this time featuring the Waffenträger Panzer IV on Malinovka. Now, this is one of the games where, right after you take off and get into position, you end up noticing a teammate's already called out GG. So that's what I'm actually going to use for the title of the game here, title of the video. What to do when your teammate calls GG early. Now, you're going to see this after I get into position, which this is a ideal map for the Waffenträger. It being much like the Nashorn that I just featured in a previous video on Prohorovka, the Waffenträger, it is a pure sniper. Now, unlike the Nashorn, the Waffenträger does get a fully traversable turret, which I like to reverse into cover. As you see, I'm going to pull in here backwards into the shrubs. This has a few benefits. This has the benefit of you actually get additional gun depression over the rear, as well as you are actually ready to take off. And because I have it turned around this way, if you do take a shot in the rear, you're less likely to take engine damage, which is an issue. Now, coming up here, we're going to see the teammate in the Object 430 version 2, as you see there, calling GG. He already thinks it's game over. Of course it's not. I wouldn't be featuring if the game ends here in an instant, but this is basically a testament to mentality. Like, basically, I'm going to play my game. Regardless of what the situation is, I'm still going to try. And no, it's not great to lose your whole flank this early into the game, but on Malinovka, it's not that big of a deal to lose this flank. If you lose the southwest flank, you can pull back. And thankfully, we have had a few people who were wise enough to do so. The grill repositioned up there to the A3, A4 area. The Tortoise is willing to kind of hold firm there at B2. And the T-103 is hanging tight, hull down, which is actually a very good position for him, showing only his tough turret. He's hulled down behind the shrubs there at B1. And now I'm able to provide flanking fire. And I did have a Leopard PTA up here, but he had pushed forward too far, gotten spotted. However, I have both soft cover to work through, as well as the ability to pull forward and roll down behind this berm that I'm sitting on top of currently. But the key reason to sit in this berm is that it provides multi-level firing opportunities. I can cover the base, I can fire on this mid-level where this patent is, and like you noticed earlier, I was able to get a very sneaky shot into a tank headed up the hill. This position allows you to cover the most of the map. And kudos to the Jagdtiger on the enemy team. He made a very, very good blind fire guess there. And I know it's a guess because I'm not spotted, and he just knew roundabout where I was spotted and took a good selective shot. As everybody should, including, say there, my own shot against the 430U as he disappeared out of my render range. That shot was a hit. And we find out later, it was not just a critical hit, looks like to the tracks. That was actually a damage dealing hit. I don't know that yet in the game, of course. I just think that I probably hit his tracks and they probably ate the shot. But regardless of the situation we're in, we're actually up one tank, but we have the worst position map-wise. But not by too much. The enemies are making some very, very reckless decisions here. And My job is to take advantage of that. And as you see, I already knew that I was likely to be spotted. And I drove forward. As you see, that's part of why I had mentioned you position the Waffenträger with your front facing out of the bush towards your exit. Wherever your exit route is, that's where you need to be positioning the front. And so far, of course, that's probably also saved me from taking some engine damage with the Jagdtiger's blind fire, because that is one of the things you will see with this vehicle, is you will take a lot of engine damage. I don't know if they've just simply reduced the HP of the drivetrain on this vehicle or not, because I don't see it as much in something, say, like the Scorpion G or the RHM, which are both paper TDs with no armor of any kind. So it's not just the lack of armor. And again, I was able to sneak in a shot over onto their sniper perch. And this position here does allow you to have that broad variety of firing avenues. As you see, I'm trying to get the finishing shot on the 430U. Knew I was going to get spotted, and again, already motoring down before Sixth Sense ever went off. And that should be a good practice for anybody. I see a lot of players who actually will sit there and wait for the Sixth Sense to go off. Most people don't realize there is a 3-second delay from your actual time of detection, so the enemy can see you, and then your actual Sixth Sense icon to go off. That's 3 seconds. That's normally enough for somebody to aim in and take a shot. Now, I don't want to get proximity detected here, because I'm already knowing that the Jagdtiger is still down there. But I would risk it if the grill got down to within one shot territory, which thankfully from the T103 put a hit into him so that I could finish him. I didn't want to take the risk there before that, because it's not worth me taking 1, maybe 2 hits and getting killed even just to put 1 shot into somebody. But now to take a gun out of the game, it's worth the risk. As you see, somebody's already pre-aiming up there, because that was probably the SU-152 if I had to take a guess. The ISU-152 most likely was the one to fire that shot there, because he hasn't been spotted for a while. And now it's just down to this STA and the Jagdtiger, who's down in the field hidden, but he's about to hit me here. I ping the map, and basically he gets spotted instantly, which pretty good job by him to stay that concealed with that large of a vehicle. And I will line up and get one more hit in before the game is over, and this is it. But it went from a battle where a teammate was already calling it game over, which that's what the sarcastic GG of course means, to a very, very nice finish where I ended up with an ace, a few other little banners as I go over them, and also a Confederate, high caliber, and a tank sniper, which should be what you're shooting for with something like the Waffenträger Panzer IV. Now my total damage, there was a couple of blind hits for full damage, so my total damage was over 7,700, which gave me over 1,300 base experience. And I think through this whole entire battle I only missed 3 shots, even though I was firing blindly. Pointing out the enemy grill, who had a nice game himself, but I was 14 for 17. Turned out to be a very, very good game despite the teammate giving up very early. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.